This episode of Bradley's House Podcast is brought to you in part by our friends at HayGoodFarms.com. HayGood Farms' goal has always been to provide hemp products that improve your quality of life, and their process is really the difference maker. HayGood Farms handles your product from the dirt all the way to delivery. This ensures a top quality product every time. And all their hemp comes from the same process, from the same facility, ensuring consistency in every order. Check out HayGoodFarms.com. That's HayGoodFarms.com. And check out their incredible line of gummies, cartridges, oils, skincare, capsules, and even a line of products for our furry friends in the pet care section. The point of using CBD is to make sure that you're not putting bad stuff into your body. So check out HayGoodFarms.com. You can see their lab results, reviews, and read more about their process and what makes HayGoodFarms.com the leader in the CBD and hemp industry. We thank HayGood Farms for sponsoring this podcast and working with the Nowell Family Foundation in getting Bradley's House open to help us in our war against opioids. This is Jarett from Buffalo, and you are listening to the Bradley's House Podcast.
Nothing is impossible, but certain things are highly improbable. I don't think I'll meet your kind again, not in this lifetime.
Hey guys, welcome back. Come on in and make yourself at home, as you should when you're a guest in Bradley's house. I am your co-host, Jarett Orr. She is the executive director of the Nowell Family Foundation, Ms. Kellie Nowell. Kellie, how you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic, Jarett. Thank you. How are you?
I'm excited. We're getting ready to do another episode. I always have fun when we get to come on here. And today is no exception. Kellie, since the start of Bradley's House, you've lined up so many amazing guests. Why don't you tell everybody who is today's amazing guest in Bradley's House?
I do feel very fortunate that we have so many great artists to draw from. And today is, of course, no exception. Today, we're talking with an artist from the East Coast that I've had the pleasure of meeting and seeing in concert. Very talented, and of course, does a song on the house that Bradley built. Please welcome Brett Wilson. Brett, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, thank you for having me. You guys have such wonderful voices.
We're being all professional to start. We're trying to impress you so that you really think we're something cool here. But yeah, we're doing the best we can. You know, of course.
Speak for yourself, Kellie. I do have a wonderful voice. Okay, Brett, so thank you. I accept that compliment.
You guys have good radio voices, you know?
Oh,
I also have a radio face, so I'm told.
No.
So that's how
Untrue.
You ever see the billboards of the people that you listen to on the radio, like when you drive around and they look nothing like what you thought they would look like?
It's such a shock, isn't it?
It's so weird.
That's what you would think, but I'm pretty sure those are hired billboard models. Because I know what these disc jockeys look like in my head, and I'm not.
That's not it.
No, I'm not.
Jarett, I gotta ask: are you related to the famous hockey player?
Good question.
I am not related to Bobby Orr, but I have heard recently that he's been going around telling people he's related to me. So, if his people can get in touch with me so we can clear this up.
Oh God, just when I think he can't surprise me anymore.
Well,
all right.
I'll tell you, Brett, I was super excited when Kellie said that we had you set up, because I know we've talked about this for a while. Schedules have been crazy. And when we finally were able to get you locked up, because I am personally a fan. Now, we have a lot of amazing guests on here that I am fans of, and we have a lot of guests on here that maybe I wasn't super familiar with before we had them on. But you are someone that popped up in my Facebook a couple years ago, and there was this little selfie of this guy And it was a sponsored ad, and I stopped, and it said, "Hey, do you like Grateful Dead and the Sublime? Then you might want to check on my page." And I went, "Grateful Dead and the Sublime? This guy's got a set of balls if he's gonna." You don't pop up on my fucking feed and ask if I like the Grateful Dead and Sublime. You bet your ass I like the Grateful Dead and Sublime. Those are bands that I do. And so I hopped on, and then you had this awesome messenger queue set up that was just firing back with me, and I was super impressed. And you have a sound that is just unlike any other, and there's not a lot of people that I listen to that do Grateful Dead songs and give them the justice that they deserve. But the way that you do it and the spirit that you do it in, man, it is just something that I've been digging for a long time, and I've turned you on to a lot of people.
You definitely turned me on with that wonderful voice you have.
I love that.
No, I trust me. I hear it all the time, man. I hear it all the time. Well, the next time we're together and we're at a festival, you can come over to the booth, and I'll tell you stories. You sit on my lap. We'll talk about the first thing that pops up.
You're like Santa Claus,
disturbing.
like you whisper sweet nothings in my ear.
Oh my gosh, that is
Absolutely.
a terrible image. We need to change this course right now.
Well, no, I really appreciate the kind words there, and that ad I thought it was like a fun ad, but it did trigger a lot of people, like in terms of there's a lot of people that were like really stoked with it, and then there's like some internet trolls that get like very upset, like if it's like polarizing, if they're deadheads and they don't like Sublime, if they like Sublime they don't like the Dead, or maybe like they're targeted because they like both the bands, but then they say something really like not cool about like the fact that both of those bands unfortunately had like substance issues, and they'll say something nasty in the comments. So it's very crazy, like when you start to put yourself out there, like, and you're having fun with it, the way that the internet people like go crazy with it. You know what I mean? Like there's people like you that absolutely love it, and then there's other people that are just like, who do you think you are trying to say it? And it's just like,
well,
hey, man,
in all fairness, if it sucked, I would have been one of those trolls also. If you were no good, I would have been right back in those comments and been like, dude, are you fucking kidding me with these comparisons?
So you're a little troll in your little troll house, and you would have come out, but you decided that you liked the music, so you didn't come out of your troll house.
You weren't worthy of the troll, is what I'm saying. It was good enough that there was no troll necessary.
But you had your troll gloves on.
Whatever happened to if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all?
Oh man, right? We need to go back to that, or at least if you're going to say something not nice, be funny about it.
Funny.
It's okay if you're joking about it. I can laugh about that, but when people get real angry, it's like, dude, Facebook stops us from reaching people organically, so we got to do paid ads. I'm sorry it showed up in your feed, but like, this is a free service. You're on here for free. Like, just X out the box. You don't have to watch it. Like, you don't have to comment. Like, just, you know what I mean? But there's something inside of them that's, unfortunately, they're probably unhappy with their life, and they're just kind of taking it out on my 30-second ad.
Right.
Well, that ad hit home. So tell us, I guess, a little bit about how your musical career got started and what your influences were.
Well, really, the roots of creation are very much tied into, where we are today, and the podcast we're on. When I first started out in the cold, lovely 4 seasons of New England in New Hampshire, I grew up skateboarding and snowboarding and partying with my friends and jamming out on my guitar, and that's kind of what I was into in junior high. I kind of abandoned. I was into sports, growing up, but then I kind of abandoned those for skateboarding and partying, playing music, and drawing. And I was originally a visual artist before I got super into playing music. And my stepbrother gave me a bag full of hip hop cassettes that my mom and dad didn't know about that had the explicit lyrics sticker on there. I'm dating myself, but that was a big deal back in the day. So he turned me on to hip hop, and my parents turned me on to like classic rock. They were showing me Led Zeppelin and the blues and all this cool stuff. And my dad showed me my first bit of reggae. He was into Peter Tosh because he was really into the Rolling Stones, and they had signed Peter Tosh. So that's kind of like what my parents were showing me. But in the skateboarding videos, there is a lot of ska and punk rock at the time. Later on, they kind of delved into hip hop. And one of my friends had showed me, after I'd gone to a reggae festival in Vermont. Reggae was huge in Vermont, and I was listening to all these different types of music, and somebody gave me a cassette copy of 40 Ounces to Freedom. And
a cassette copy. Now you're dating yourself.
Exactly. A cassette tape. And I had been collecting Grateful Dead bootlegs, and Fish was huge at the time in my high school. And, I was starting to teach myself how to play guitar, going from, metal and, Black Sabbath and, punk rock and heavier stuff to delve into like the lead guitar that was in Allman Brothers or Grateful Dead, and Fish trying to learn how to improvise from listening to the tapes and playing campfires around, just having fun. And I got that cassette tape, and I was like, holy shit, this is a band that, first of all, they covered Scarlet Begonias, but it had like a hip-hop drum beat, and it almost sounded exactly like the Dead at the end with the jam. And then they're having influences from, dance hall music that I was listening to, roots reggae, hip-hop, punk rock, all the things that were part of my upbringing and skateboard culture were in this one band. And I was like, holy shit, I want my band to sound like this band. Like, this is the best thing I've ever heard in my life. I was like, but the only thing is, I wish they jammed out a little bit more. So when I first heard that, I was the only thing that I wished, that I wanted to change was, okay, I'm from New Hampshire. I'm not going to talk about the California stuff. That's not my lifestyle. Like, so I want to talk about, the stuff that I'm going through in my life. But like, this sound is amazing, because I was really into like Operation Ivy and Rancid and all these bands that, combine ska and punk in different styles. So but I was just like, because I was so influenced by the jam stuff and the improvisation that was going on in the Northeast at the time, that was like a big focus. And the festival scene, that was just kind of like my inspiration on like starting a band just for fun. And then later on, as CDs progressed, I got a copy of the Bad Fish single, and this was before the box set, and there was a B-side, Roots of Creation demo. And I was like, that's got to be the name. That's got to be the name of our band. That's got to be the name of our band. I was like, nobody will ever know, because it was a cassette single from Newbury Comics. Nobody will ever know that it's a Sublime song, because it's not on any albums. And so nobody knew for a really long time. But then, of course, the box set came out, and then everybody knew my secret. But, that's the that's the general story.
Some of us know. And hey, shout out to Miguel, who brought that Grateful Dead influence in and forced Brad to go to a concert. And it's actually Miguel singing Scarlet Begonias on 40 Ounces. So,
I always wondered that, because the vocal tone sounded a little bit different. Do you know if Bradley did Brad did
the freestyle, the little rap in the middle.
What about the harmonies? Did Miguel do the harmonies too? That's what I always wondered.
It's all Miguel. So Brad just said that he liked the way Miguel sung it better. So on the 40 ounce copy, it's Migs singing the whole song. It's just Brad takes in it was a summer of love, and he does the little, but it's Miguel.
And I loved that part, because even though I hadn't made it to a Dead concert, just because of my age, I just turned the big 40. So like there was only one chance to see the Dead, and that was like Vermont, Highgate, and then Jerry passed. So, but I've seen almost every incarnation since. But that rap really encapsulated the hippie scene that was going on in the Northeast with the festival culture and the fish shows. And I could just, the lyrical imagery of it, I just thought was fucking badass.
Yeah, it was supposed to just be a guitar solo, but, Brad can't help himself, so.
It's so true. So when did you start Roots of Creation?
So I started it for fun. I would say somewhere around my senior year of high school. So I'd say 1999 to 2000, just for fun. And then just a party band, not really doing anything. Maybe do a little local show. I was going to school, Franklin Pierce University in New Hampshire, and pursuing like a visual arts degree. So I was thinking, music was my fun thing, my hobby, and I was going to be like a visual artist. So I was into printmaking and abstract art and, figure painting, female form, psychedelic art, stuff like that. So
do you still do visual art?
I do a little bit. It's funny. Photography and art have turned into my hobbies, and music has turned to my career. So it's kind of a weird flip kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I just recently started kind of past couple months delving into like NFTs and digital art and collecting those and stuff like that. So like I really love art, and I've always loved collaborating with artists for our merchandise and our posters, and it's just been, it's been a fun thing. But I guess around 2004 or so, I was about to graduate from college, and I realized that, when we started to move from the party scene in college to the venues, the first couple shows sold out, and I started to see, people, I'm a young man, girls dancing on tables, going crazy, and I'm like this quiet, reserved, visual artist, and I'm like, wait a second, there's no girls dancing, going crazy to my paintings on the wall. Like, this is way cooler than being a visual artist. Like, yeah, I sold a couple prints, but I mean, this is way more exciting.
That's where it's at.
So then I started to say, wait a second, we just went from playing parties to venues, and they sold out the first time we played. Like, we could be onto something. So, around 2004, we recorded just our first album, didn't really do too much with it. And then around 2005, 2006 is when somebody told us at the studio, they're like, if you guys want to make it, you got to buy a van, live in a house together, and just do it. So I interned at a booking agency, and we made our second album, and we just hit the road for 150 days a year and lived and breathed music. And that's really when like we were actually like a real band, not just like a party band that played locally or just, having fun with it, where we were like, okay, let's do this for real.
Yeah. Start getting serious about it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what are some of the challenges that you've endured along the way? I mean, 15 years, that's a good long time to be playing with people. And it's not always as fun and games and as easy as people think.
Yeah, I've probably encountered all of the challenges that anybody's faced. I look at some of my idols, and when I get to meet them, it puts me back on the earth. You look up to them, and then you notice they've gone through most of the same challenges as you.
Yeah.
So yeah, like you said, it is difficult. I mean, the most rewarding thing that keeps me going is, people singing the songs with me, whether it's me, playing an acoustic show, and I'll do a Sublime tribute set or a Dead tribute set, and people are singing the words to songs that I grew up listening to or playing around a campfire, or I go to a random place in the country and they're singing songs that I wrote. I love that. I love when we're jamming on stage and people are lost in the moment with us, and we're kind of like one big entity. But it does come with its challenges. I mean, the travel's difficult on your body. Being away from your family. I have two amazing daughters, and a 4-year-old and a 9-year-old, and
you do. They're so adorable. I've seen pictures, and they are ridiculously cute.
Yeah, I love them so much. They're awesome. But that's its own set of challenges. Is like, I've kind of I've kind of been through it all. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
was married. I'm not married anymore because the lifestyle's difficult in terms of
very, I'm sure.
keeping a partner and stuff. And
Yeah,
I'm blessed to have gotten 50 an equal custody agreement, which I'm very happy about. But that does set its own challenges in terms of like me as a 40-year-old with two children. It's how do I
right.
figure it out? So before the call, I was like, we're figuring out flights so that I'm with them during the week during school. That we fly out. We're going to Florida. We're going to California. Fly back. Be a dad. So it's just really
Mm,
a balancing act. Figuring out like what's important. And 3 years ago, I quit drinking alcohol. Maybe 4 years ago, I can't really remember when, but
good for you.
thank you. It was free everywhere we went. So that was
Right.
I didn't realize how much of a challenge it was in my life. But, it was just
Mm,
fun, and
yeah.
I didn't drink when I wasn't playing music really. But you drink a couple of beers. I get liquid courage. As I mentioned, I'm kind of a homebody, kind of reserved artist, musician guy. But then you go out there, you got to entertain a couple thousand people. You're having fun, have a couple
Yeah.
drinks, get that liquid courage. And then fans are like stoked, so they want to do a couple shots of tequila. That was fun. But then, waking up with a hangover and then driving 8 hours to the next show is not really that fun. So,
Oh gosh. And it must be difficult too. There's such a difference between a musician and a performer. Like a
right.
lot of people are great musicians, but being able to translate that to a performance on stage, especially as, the front man of a band, that's challenging.
Yeah, I love it now, but that was not, I love the reactions like I was talking about, but
Mm,
like you said, it's not a natural state of being. You kind of have to transform yourself into um not a character, but like something bigger than yourself.
right.
Like you said, a performer. So you have to, otherwise, there the other approach would be to do kind of like what some of the jam bands do, and they have like a giant light show with 125 lights, and they aren't really the performance. It's all about the music and the lights and the LED
Oh.
LED screens, because they aren't really natural performers
You
in
just gave
in
away
that
their
sense.
secret.
I did.
Now every time I go to a show and see a big light show, I'm gonna be like, oh, they're not performers.
Right, they're not a front man like, like with Slightly
Hard.
Stupid, or
Yeah.
Pepper, the bands where the guy grabs the mic and they're getting the crowd amped up and they're clapping their hands and all that.
Yeah. It's
Those
tough to
those are
do.
those are things I learned from playing little shitty bars where nobody's paying attention, where you have to be like,
Mm,
okay, I got to step it up here because I want people to, be a part of this here.
right. And that's the trial by fire. I mean, you've got to figure it out as you go. And I think that's really where the true performanceship or the showmanship really is developed, is during those times when no one could give a shit about what you're doing on stage.
Exactly. Without that, um, you don't have your what did they say? They say you got to put 10,000 hours in or something like that to become
Oh,
a master of your craft. So
right.
the Beatles did that in the pubs. I had no idea, but I love reading musicians' biographies, and you start to
Yes.
go in there and you're like, wait, I didn't know Tom Petty like put 10,000 hours into bar band stuff. I didn't know Bruce Springsteen did that. And you go back and you see that all these bands kind of did the same thing that you did. They just never gave up, and then eventually
Mm,
transitioned into doing it for real.
yeah, that's so true. And I think we see a lot of that now with like social media. People tend to just assume that things are so much easier for everyone else and, so much easier for this band and so much easier for this artist. But I really do think to make it, you've got to just be willing to put in the time, put in the hours, and put in the work.
100%. And it is tough though. Some I'm victim of it myself. Sometimes like I hit the Instagram button and I'm like, God damn it, I'm here in the cold New England and my friend's killing it in Florida right now. And,
Mm,
I wish I was there. And you get that FOMO going on. And you gotta check yourself and go, hey, he's worked his ass off to get this.
Yeah.
I have
happy for 'em.
wonderful children. You have to be happy for them. You have to,
Yeah.
not be a selfish human being and understand that, this is just the highlight reel, and
Yeah.
it's not showing the pop tire and the missed flights and
Right.
the empty bar rooms that they played over the past
Oh,
3 years to get to that moment. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah. You can't have one without the other. Now, over the past 15 years, has there been a lot of turnover in the band?
Yeah, there's been quite a bit. I've been lucky to have our keyboardist by my side pretty much since the beginning
Nice.
of like that 2005, 2006 era.
Mhm.
But man, we're kind of like Spinal Tap with our bass players. I don't even know how many we've been through, but it's probably like 8 of them. But we finally have like a
Wow.
really amazing lineup that we're super happy about. Alex on the drums started as the percussion player during our Grateful Dub album, and he also plays drums for Big D and the Kids Table.
Oh, wow.
Really great ska rock band
Yeah.
out of Boston, and they put a new record out, but they're kind of like I don't know how old they are, but they're like a little bit older than us, I think, and like they don't tour a super ton, so we're lucky to be able to share him with them. And our bass player used to be the lead guitarist and the band leader of this band, Fear Nuttin' Band, which was an amazing band.
I loved them.
Oh, they're
them
phenomenal.
a few times. Yes.
Phenomenal. Like I see them as something like of the Fishbone of the Northeast, where every musician like loves the band. Those of you who haven't listened to them before, they mix heavy metal with dancehall reggae, and it's just
so great.
It's so cool, so original, and they're just kind of ahead of their time. And they did well, but they just kind of never. They had these ups and downs of winning a contest, getting a record deal, and just he settled into the fact that like he had enough of being the front man, and he wanted to play bass and just like be a musician and not have to be the leader.
Yeah,
So,
all the stress, I'm sure.
It's nice to have somebody in the band that's done your job before, so that he once in a while, we call him the congressman because he's always like, well, what I think is, and it's like
so
he's always
diplomatic.
like, yes, diplomatic and reasonable.
So nice. You gotta have one of those in the band at least, huh?
Exactly. Yes, he's very logical, and our sax player, he's been with us. Man, I think he's been with us for. Geez, I'd want to say over 10 years at this point, and
wow.
He plays keyboards. He does harmony vocals. He writes music. It's really cool. Like almost everybody in the band is a music producer as well. So there's a lot of creativity outside of the band, inside of the band. So I'm really happy with kind of where we're at in terms of who we have on board. And sometimes people. Like our trombone player went off to Billy Cottage. He was with us for a while with Andrew as a horn section, and he joined. What band was it? Oh, God damn it, I can't remember right now. But he joined this great ska band, and then moved up to another band, and then he was in Real Big Fish for a long time, and now he's in the Interrupters. But when he comes home. He'll jam with us and do studio stuff. So we're at this point in time, I see us as like a core group with like almost like a collective around us of Andy from Slightly Stupid. He does our trumpet parts on the albums. Like Dayla from Stupid's coming to jam with us on Sunday. So I like to see us as kind of like a collective at this point, on top of our core group, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I like that. Now, talk to me a little bit about the Grateful Dead album that you guys did. You just mentioned it. It's something that I absolutely love. I don't know how many plays it has on YouTube, but a lot of them are me, brother. I'm telling you. Right now.
That's awesome. That's amazing.
It's confession time.
Yeah,
these are my confessions.
I'm putting it out there now. We Yeah, a little Usher. I like that. I don't know if it fits the motif of the Grateful Dub, but I like what you did there. Now we had spoken a little bit not that long ago, and I had specifically requested that you guys get a version of Tennessee Jed going. How are we looking on that, Brett?
Did you request it on the live stream and did I bust it out or was that somebody else?
No, you busted it out on a live stream
Okay, cool.
not that long ago, but this was in Messenger. You said, you know, what are you thinking about? And I said I would love to hear you guys do a Tennessee Jed. And you said we're actually, I forget. I think maybe you said one of your horn players or somebody had just brought it up, and you were just starting to work on it. And where are we at with this, man?
You're lobbying hard. You
Very
got that
subtle.
professional.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, dude, if you could just go ahead and move your desk downstairs and learn Tennessee Jed, that'd be great.
That'd be
Come on, man.
great. Yes, I love that movie. It's one of my favorites. That'd be great.
That's definitely a strong contender. We're trying to figure out how we fairly decide what songs are going to be on Volume 2, because we just got the green light from Errol Brown, who produced Volume 1. And those of you who are listening that don't know about Errol Brown, he was Bob Marley's engineer on the road, and he mixed the last 3 Bob Marley albums that were put out, and he co-produced or produced, I believe, the last one that came out. And he is just a phenomenal human being. I don't know how old he is at this point in time, but he is definitely an elder and what came from like the beginning of reggae music, and is an amazing sound engineer and human being. And he said he wants to be involved in Volume 2. So we have that on board. And I think right now we're just trying to figure out, are we going to get a bank loan again? Are we going to, are we going to find a financial partner? We just launched a Patreon the other day that I haven't really told anybody about. Just kind of told some close friends. That's going to be an aspect of us trying to release music every month. But that's the long answer to your question. The short answer on Tennessee Jed is I'd give it a 75% right now, a strong 75% to be on the record. I know people want us to put some more Phil Lesh or Bob Weir tunes on there because we went all Hunter Garcia last time, but those are the easiest ones to translate into the reggae rock genre.
I mean, yeah, I get it. I love the Grateful Dead. I love every version of them. I've seen Rat Dog, I've seen Phil and Friends, I've seen The Dead, I've seen everything but Jerry.
Me too. I've seen everything but Jerry, and I have not seen Dead and Company.
And I'll tell you right now, that the number one, the man that should be standing in front for that band is Warren Haynes, not Bob Weir. Don't at me, people. I don't care. Warren Haynes should be the new Jerry.
He's the hardest working man in rock and roll.
Dude, is he ever, man? Is he ever? So I'm a big jam band guy. And I will always go out and say that, and boy, I've almost been in legitimate bar fights with elderly gentlemen when I tell them that the last rendition of the Allman Brothers was the very best rendition of the Allman Brothers in their entire run. But I don't care. Dickie Betts and Dwayne, Derek Trucks, Warren Haynes, and O'Teal on stage at the same time is the best version of the Allman Brothers and maybe the very best jam band that's ever traveled.
You know what? I got to witness them a couple of times, and I actually got to work the stage as a stagehand for Warren Haynes' Christmas Jam, who our engineer, Pete Peliquin, who's done all of our albums. He actually, I believe he did the audio and the video for that. I was cable wrangling on the stage, and I was so tired after 3 days of cable wrangling, not even partying, just like cable wrangling and working and not sleeping, of doing stagehand stuff and video stuff, that I fell asleep on stage cable wrangling in between the 2 drummers of that band that you're talking about, like, because I was so exhausted. through the thunderous slamming of
Oh my
two
god.
drumsticks. But they were amazing, and they were such humble human beings. I mean, I talked to Warren after the show, and I talked to who else did I talk to? Who was the guitar player that you just mentioned? I'm having a
Derek
brain fart.
Trucks.
Yeah, Derek Trucks. I talked to him about how he plays with no pick and just his fingers, which I think is awesome because I like to do that sometimes, but I cannot do it anywhere close to what he does. He just makes the guitar like cry and sing.
He might be the best doing it right now. I don't know if there's any better guitar player than Derek Trucks.
There's so much
out
soul
right now.
and pain and passion in the notes he hits. It's but they're just such good people too. When I was talking to them, they were so down to earth, so thankful. You know, they didn't know I was a musician. I was just, you know, working. You know what I mean? Just like, and they signed my pass. They were nice. We talked about it. O'Teal has sat in with us before in Massachusetts at Wormtown Festival. He did Sugary with us, and he did this crazy like 8-minute bass scatting solo. And he's a great human being. So I don't know. I might agree with you, man. I mean, I
No.
like old Allman Brothers. It's great and stuff, but I do feel like the last installment was like a super group, you know?
It really was. And Sugary is just such a great reason to love the Grateful Dead and Jerry Garcia. And I love that song so much. It's maybe one of my favorite Dead songs. And he's just like, hey, listen, I do love you, but when they come around and they ask about me, you bitch, you better say you don't know me. All right. Like, I got a wife and kids, and I was not here.
It's the Mary Magdalene jam band
It
song.
sure is. Yeah, it's so what made you guys want to put that album together with all of those Dead songs, but with your very own unique twist to them?
Man, I think there was quite a bit of factors, but if I was to succinctly put them together, one would be there was a Reggae Dead tribute album that came out a long, long time ago that I was so excited to get on CD. It was called Fire in the Mountain. It had Black Uhuru and all these, you know, Jamaican artists on there. I was so stoked to listen to it, and I bought it, and it was, in my opinion, so bad. And it was just, it had no elements of the Grateful Dead. It was just all, just to me, very cheesy 80s, 90s production, fake horns. I didn't feel like the artists really had other than Burning Spear. I really like Burning Spear's version. And I've gone back and listened to it, and it wasn't as bad as I remembered. But as a high school musician, it was just very disappointing. I was so excited to listen to it. This is pre-internet, so you know I didn't get to sample it. I went and bought it, you know, and on the pretense of what it was, and I was so disappointed. And I was like, man, I really wish I could have produced this or done a version of this because I really have a vision, and I really think that the Sublime Scarlet Begonias was so much more on par of what the reggae album should have sounded like, rather than this really cheesy production value of it. The singing was good, Steel Pulse, Burning Spear and stuff, but again, they also kind of changed some of the melodies, which I don't know if they did that because they wanted to or because they were unfamiliar with the material or were just hired to do the album. So I don't know the ins and outs of it. I've researched it a little bit, but there's not a lot on the internet. They did a volume 2 as well. So those were kind of the beginning seeds, you know, was part, you know, Sublime's version and then hearing an attempt at a tribute album that I didn't like. And I was like, man, that would then, and then I kind of forgot about it. And over the years, we played a couple songs, Dead songs, and we started playing this festival in New Hampshire called Jerry Jam. That this guy Dan Webb started, and it first started after Jerry died. He started to play Grateful Dead movies at his house, and he had barn parties, and then the next year he had a band, and it just organically grew over the years. And then, you know, maybe after about, geez, I don't know, 15 years or so, or 10 years or so, it turned into a festival and sold out. And then it got bigger and bigger. And it got to the point where he was ready to hire like a couple, not local bands or bigger bands like us. And so we played that, but we weren't playing a lot of Dead material. We had learned one song that we put on Livin' Free, our album Livin' Free, Row Jimmy, just because we thought that would be a cool thing to throw into our set for the Jerry Jam stuff. And then he invited us to do a Halloween show. And we thought, well, if Fish does musical costumes, what if we do a musical costume and we do an entire set of the Dead? So we did that, and everybody loved it. And then we kept playing Jerry Jam, and Melvin Seals, Jerry Garcia's organist from his solo band, started jamming with us there. And Dan was so gracious as to pay him a little extra and facilitate the friendship between Melvin and us. And that just kind of organically went into the fact that the guys in the band were like, man, we really should do a whole album of this. And if we don't do it, somebody else is going to do it. What if the Easy Star All-Stars do it? We got to do this shit. So then the fans got together and they helped, fund the record. We did a crowdfunding campaign. I took a bank loan out, and we hired Errol, who we met through this radio show, Big Reggae Mix. And we just kind of put it all together organically. And then John Phillips from Silverback Music got involved because he and I kind of bonded off playing guitar and jamming out in Costa Rica and Closer to the Sun on the Dead. And he really helped take it to the next level and getting some special guests and telling me whether stuff sounded good or not. And between him and Errol, Stephen Marley heard what we were doing with Fire in the Mountain, and he heard Ganja Farmer, Marlon Asher on there, and he was like, man, I want to be on this. And he did it just for the love of it. And for an artist of that magnitude to do that and say, hey, I'll be on this track, but you got to come play my festival, and just kind of do a barter with us, was just like, holy shit, like this is going to be a big record for us. And really shows how great of a human being and artist, Steven is, carrying on his dad's legacy, and to have him be on a track that was produced by his dad's engineer. So I don't know, man, it was just an amazing process, to be honest. It's magical.
Yeah, it's a great album. It really captures those songs, and I know exactly what you feel. Like I could feel when you said that. I know how you felt, because about 16 years ago, a compilation album came out from my favorite band, and I thought it was the Drizzlin' Shits. So it's
That's such a descriptive term.
yeah. I wasn't.
Wow.
I wasn't
that.
I
That
wasn't
sounds
a
like
fan.
the name of a punk band, the Drizzlin' Shits.
Great punk band. Oh my god.
But so
Sorry,
I
Jarett.
know.
I didn't mean to take away your steam there. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. Trust me.
The
So,
Drizzlin' Shits new album, Taco Bell.
I love it.
Oh
I think you're onto something here. You're the marketing guru here, Brett. So,
I do have to say, if anyone knows how to market, it is definitely Brett. You are so good about always like getting on social media and getting the word out. And while we're on the topic, thank you so much for all that you do for the Nowell Family Foundation. You are constantly doing live streams, like on Brad's birthday, and just things to promote the foundation. And of course, doing that song with your creation for the house that Bradley built. We appreciate your support so much, Brett.
Oh, you're so welcome. I like being involved with nonprofits. I always have. I feel like it's kind of integral to music. Makes you feel good and reminds you of why I did it, at least in the first place, which is to make people feel good, but also to kind of make the world a better place. So, but it's also something your guys' mission I really identify with. When I was younger, my dad was always telling me, people can do whatever they want to do. We should, treat, drugs like, if somebody has a problem with them, like a disease, like like an addiction, a disease, and we shouldn't, throw people in jail. We should, in his opinion, we should legalize drugs, and if people have a problem with them, we should, treat them as, as human beings, not throwing them into the justice system. And just he had a different
Right.
concept of things, which I wrote a lot of papers in high school and college with. So I've just always been a proponent of, helping people that are struggling with stuff like that. And I believe in your guys' mission. And at the same time, on a personal level, how could I not give back to what inspired me to start my band in the first place? That would be idiotic.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. It means a lot.
You're so welcome.
Absolutely. The support is always help from you on your page, and like Kelly said, with all the live streams. All right, Brad. So I'm going to put you on the spot here and ask
Jesus.
you. And yeah, get ready for this one. And because
I have no idea what's going to happen now.
No, it's not that bad. But I've asked you about this a few times, and a few times you've had the same answer.
Okay.
Why does the song "Standing on the Moon" make you cry?
Man, I don't remember what I told you last time.
You just said you just said it was a super emotional song for you to play.
The real reason? There's a couple reasons, but I'd say one of the main reasons is it reminds me of the fact that my musical hero, Jarett Garcia, is dead. I had a chance to go see him. My friend and I were playing punk rock in the basement and metal, fucking around before I even started Roots of Creation. We were writing songs, having a good time, and she was like, "Hey, do you want to go to Highgate this weekend to see the Grateful Dead in Vermont?" And we looked at each other. We were like, we liked them a little bit, just not a lot. Like, I was just starting to get into them. We were like, "No, we'll catch them next year. Like, we're good." And then we went back into the basement and we played music all weekend, which was fun. But then he died after that. So
gosh.
Like I turned down the opportunity, and I think about the countless hours, and just crying, like listening to the tapes, like playing guitar, like, God damn it, like I just love his playing and his a lot of people equate it to like a Buddha-like presence. He didn't want to be the leader. He just wanted to, play music and connect with people. He just loved playing guitar, and I just like the eloquency of his playing. It's very understated and not in your face. So I think of him when I'm playing it. But I also think, sometimes of my friends in California, like John Phillips. I have a lot of friends in California, but specifically him, who I worked really hard with on the project. And it's hard being like the lonely East Coast band in the cold Northeast, and you're thinking of your friends in California that you want to hang out with and jam with on guitar and stuff. So sometimes it brings me to that place. It brings me to different places, but something about the lyrics, they're just, I don't know, they just hit me. That and Black Muddy River are two very difficult songs for me to play. They remind me of death and loss, and they're talking about what a lovely view of heaven, but I'd rather be with you. I mean, it's I don't know, it's deep shit, man.
Well, it's crazy because when I looked at the lineup on that CD, it's like every song that I would have picked. Like, there's not, I don't think you missed one on there. And Standing on the Moon is right up there with my favorite Dead songs. And it's the lyrics. It's exactly what you said. It's so not in your face. Jerry's voice is just amazing in it. So like when I saw it, I was like, wow, it wasn't one that I would expect somebody to cover. Like if somebody was going to put together a list of some Dead songs, I don't think that that's one that most people would pick. So when I saw that it was one that you guys did, I was like, wow.
Yeah, that was a particularly difficult one in the studio, but one of the most magical moments. We were playing it, and because Errol had recorded Redemption Song with Bob Marley, which is just every time I think about that, it just fucking blows my mind that he was in the studio when that was being recorded. But Bob was having a difficult time having the band play along with him. I don't know if you've heard the version, but they released I don't know how you I fucking say it, posthumously, or I don't know the correct pronunciation. Posthumously, exactly. Thank you, English teacher. But they released it later, and it's not as good as the solo acoustic version. And Errol said that he and the guy from Island Records were like, Bob, stop struggling over the song. Let's just do it with an acoustic, and it sounds good that way. So that they mic'd up the acoustic, and that's history. And that kind of happened with this song. Like, we were trying to do it with the band, and it was not working, and we actually deleted the band off of the song and undeleted them at the end of the song, to kind of do something not exactly like Redemption Song, but he basically recommended that when we were struggling with it, that we treat it like Redemption Song. And both songs are in the same key and they have some similarities in chord structure and melody in a sense, and they're both very prophetic songs. I feel like when Jerry was singing that, was he thinking about his impending death? I don't know. So that was kind of a crazy moment to have somebody be like, well, I was there with Redemption Song, and let's just do it acoustic and then throw the band in later, I don't know. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I would say. All right, so you've heard Brad and Miguel and the band do Scarlet Begonias.
Yes.
If you would have an opportunity to hear Jerry and the Dead cover a Sublime song, what would you like to hear them do?
Ooh, good questions.
Wow. It's like he's been preparing for months with this. Maybe that's why it took so long. Each day he's like, what are the most intense questions I can ask?
It's good, I'm telling you.
Oh, man. Sublime song currently? I did not know Foolish Fool was a Dee Warwick song. I don't know who
right, Dionne Warwick.
Oh, Dionne Warwick. Oh, okay, cool. So currently, that is probably my favorite Sublime song to sing. That may be one that I would like to hear the Dead do. I really, really, really like that song. But I don't know if that's the correct answer to this question.
There's no wrong answer. I through the catalog, there's not a lot that transfers into how Jerry would play, but I wouldn't.
But I feel like it could be like really.
I wouldn't mind hearing
like
Jerry. I wouldn't mind hearing Jerry do a little acoustic freeway of his own version of it. There's some stuff. I think about this often. So as another
But can you hear
slash,
like foolish, foolish? You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
I definitely could. 100%. I could hear Jerry doing that. And it would be awesome because it would be 17 minutes long. So
like when I play it with the band.
Yeah, so you'd really get to enjoy it.
I could hear Badfish. I could hear Badfish. I could hear Badfish as a Dead song.
Honestly, I think the real answer is I could hear the entire Dead and Jerry fronting Santeria, but I think that that's just like kind of a layup. Like I think that's an easy one, but the harmonies in there,
I was trying to skip the hits,
right,
but I totally
right.
agree with you.
But Santeria is I mean, God, it's a hit for anybody. But I could definitely hear the Dead doing like a 26-minute long Santeria and it just being badass.
You know what they could also do is when I play with Badfish, wherever we tour with Badfish, they bring me up for Pawn Shop, and we do like a
Mm.
12-minute Pawn Shop like jam, like super jam, where it just
Yes.
goes
I've heard
out
that.
crazy. Yeah, that was super fun. Where
Yes.
was that? Riverside that we were hanging out?
Riverside. Yes. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh, what a good memory you have, Brett. Yep, that was it.
only because that was like an epic show for so many reasons.
It was awesome.
And like that's a super fun song to jam out on. So I could hear like the 11 going into Pawn Shop or something like, or Pawn Shop into Dark Star because of the Where We Take It on stage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Have you, Slightly Stupid does a pretty badass Franklin's Tower. I don't know if you've caught it live ever, but it's a pretty impressive version.
I think it's amazing. And I actually got to join them for that at Closer to the Sun in Mexico, which was fucking awesome. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, they did it. They did it in Bobby's studio too, and it might be one of my favorite studio versions of that song ever. And I'm not a huge Bobby fan. I know that that's not popular amongst the Dead community, but I mean, I love Bob Weir for what he is, but I just hate him in the front of the stage.
I really love his rhythm playing, like in the Dead. Like there's a lot of parts where I didn't know it was him playing, like that part on China Cat, the up high part. I thought that was Jerry's part, but then when you watch the videos, it's him doing the thing.
Yeah.
A lot of amazing things he did. I think that it's hard to have somebody who was like, this amazing complementary part to a lead person, then transition roles. I think a lot of people like the role that he transitioned to, but like I totally respect, what you're saying. Like it's not for you for sure.
Yeah, I love him, but he's just not. He moved up front pretty quick, and he's kind of a side left guy to me. But you got you,
What am I? Am I rear middle or?
no, dude, you're up front. You're rocking it. You're the guy. You know what I mean? But like,
Just like baseball, like he's more of an outfielder kind of like.
yeah, he's a designated hitter. It's nice to have him in there, but he ain't hitting in the slot. I'm telling you right now. So you've got two daughters. You said 9 and 4.
Yep.
Have they been introduced to the Jerry Garcia Kids Not for Kids Only tape?
No, you know what? I'm gonna send that to my daughter right now.
Dude, I'll tell you right now, for anybody who's
I
listening,
love
if
that
you have
album.
kids, there is the greatest rendition of Teddy Bear's Picnic that you'll ever hear in your life. It puts me to sleep. I can't make it to the whole end. It's that Jerry's voice is that solid through it. But yeah, that was one that I couldn't wait to get into rotation when I had kids, and I had the CD for years before that. So that was one that they certainly enjoy, and I still play the Teddy Bear's Picnic for them to this day. So
How old are your kids?
they're some ages.
He doesn't know.
You sound young.
I've got a 4-year-old, I've got a 9-year-old, I've got a 13-year-old, and I raised a stepdaughter who's about my age. So,
And how old are you again?
I'm 38.
Oh, you're younger than I am.
Yeah.
He's a baby.
Yes. But I have a 9-year-old and a 4-year-old too. But the 13-year-old was the one that was my first one, and I was just like, "You're gonna listen to this CD always," and we did, and he
No pressure.
loved it. Yeah, he loved it. And then I tried to transition him into like some of the Jerry Garcia bluegrass stuff and like some of the pizza tapes and stuff. He didn't take to that as well. So
Shady Grove, I love. That was a big one for me growing up. How about you, Kelly? Do you have any kids?
I do. I have 2 boys, 23 and one that just turned 19 last week.
there's nothing
So-
boy about these gigantically tall, gigantic men that she was raised.
They're large. They're large men. They're like 6'4" and 6'2", I think. They're large children, but they're awesome. They're really, really awesome boys. But I'm
That's
a lot older
awesome.
than you guys. I'm 51, so yeah, but they're great.
Well,
And
you
then-
you, sa- you
and then
sound
Brad's
and look
28.
younger than that.
Oh, thank you, Brett. You're my new best friend.
Yeah, it's always nice until somebody asks if you're Brad's mom at the booth. And
Yeah, that doesn't go over too well.
Are you Brad's mom?
I swear, I get that question every now and then, and I'm 2.5 years younger than Brad, but I always say he gets to be 28 forever, and I had to keep aging, so whatever, fuck him.
So I think we might as well just tell the story because it's so enjoyable to me. Is at the last time a guy says, "Is that Brad's mom?" And I just went, because I knew. And his wife grabbed his arm and went, "Did you hear him just sigh? We should get out of here." And they scurried off from the booth. So if you guys don't,
You gotta put up a sign if it's that bad. I am not Brad's mom.
I feel like I shouldn't have
Or wear
to.
a shirt that says "Not Brad's mom,"
Right.
and on the back it says his fucking sister.
Well, I mean, no offense.
his
but our
little
mom-
sister on top of it.
Yeah, our mom just turned 78 yesterday. And I might not look super great for my age, but I'm pretty sure I don't look 78. So, whatever.
Right. Well, was it the Riverside show? She and your dad were like sitting on a couch on the stage.
That was my stepmom and dad.
Oh, it was your
yeah,
stepmom.
and actually,
Okay,
it was
cool.
the Anaheim show. It was the Anaheim,
Was the Anaheim show? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And how old's your stepmom?
She's about, what did she just turn? And I forgot, but she's about 4 years
40.
younger than my dad. Yeah, I shouldn't say how old she is, but
40.
she's similar in age to my mom and dad, but minus about 4 years. Is that tactful enough? I feel like
I can't do the math. I can't do the math.
Yeah,
My brain
I can
hurts.
share my age all I want, but I feel like it's not really fair to out another woman on her age if she doesn't want to. But yeah, but
No,
that's
that's
who was.
fair.
They
Totally
were at the
fair.
Anaheim show.
That was fun watching them on the couch.
Yeah, they were so stoked to be there. They loved it. It was a great show.
So, Brett, what do you have coming up for shows right now? We know that the spring, the summer. Today's the first day of spring as we're recording this. Is that
Is
that
it really?
correct? I'm pretty sure today's the first day of spring. Kelly wouldn't know because she fucking lives in Southern California. So every day is spring, and then sometimes it's kind of summer. But for those of us who live in the Northeast, today I'm pretty sure is the first day of spring.
I guess it was like 75 degrees here. I don't know. It's hard to tell one season from the next.
Every day
You all
is
hate me
75
now,
degrees
don't you?
there. Yeah, every day is 75 degrees there.
My
Pretty much.
favorite temperature, because since I'm a ginger and very fair skinned, is
You are?
Yep. I'm a ghost.
Yes.
A vampire is around like 5 o'clock. I remember being in San Francisco for the first time. 5 o'clock in San Francisco, the sun was going down. I was skateboarding, and it was like not hot and it wasn't cold. It was just like this nice little warm temperature. The sun wasn't burning me, and I was just like feeling the breeze. It was great, and that's my favorite temperature. I don't know what temperature that is, but
Well, whatever that was perfect.
whatever it was perfect.
I am not a ginger, but I am extremely fair skinned. And like 160 watt light bulb, and I'm getting color. So it's Southern California is not necessarily conducive to what I have going on, but I think you would like get used to it. I went to a baseball game with all my friends, a professional baseball game, and we were walking down to our seats. It was in July, and the female usher grabbed my arm, and I was like, "Oh my God, are we getting kicked out already? What happened?" And she says, "Come with me." And she walks me over to her little stand, and she pulls sunscreen out of her purse and puts it on my neck. And she's like, you're not going to make it today, sweetheart.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so that's how sunburned I get. So
Oh, gosh.
I don't like sunscreen. I prefer to just hide under a tree or in a hotel room.
Yeah, I am with you on that. Although I do get pretty tan. Brad and I were able to tan pretty good, so no complaints. But yeah, the weather here is kind of a one note. You know, if it's super cold, it's like low 60s.
Were you on that iconic trip that I read about sometimes?
To Jamaica?
Yes.
No, I was too young. I think I was like 8 or 9. And I think Brad was around 11 or 12. So yeah, no, that I was not a part of that.
way to rub it in, Brett. Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Were you on that amazingly epic vacation that changed the world of music? Kelly, did they invite you or did they leave you at home? Tell us.
Honestly, I don't even remember it, which is crazy. Like this thing that's become such a touchstone moment for everybody. When Brad went on that trip, it wasn't like that. Like it wasn't like he came back and the angels were singing and the heavens opened and his eyes were like, like this is what I'm meant to do with my life. There was none of that. I literally have no recollection of him going on that trip, coming back from the trip, having his life changed by that trip. I think it was just a progression, but looking back, you can go, okay, where did that come from, and kind of pinpoint that moment, but only in retrospect. It
You
wasn't
didn't notice
something
the
at the
Jamaican
time.
accent when you got back?
No, he didn't come back with a Jamaican accent. I have no
not according to the internet, Kelly. I've read the interwebs. I know.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff on the internet. But yeah, no, I mean, I think in hindsight, he was able to look back and go, yeah, that was kind of when it sparked it. But, if he'd never gone into the music industry and, reggae specifically, I don't know that would have been like a life-changing moment for him. It was just a really great trip, and we've always been into all kinds of different music. And so for him, it was a great introduction to another style of music, but it did spark something inside of him to want to make a similar sound. And I think that's why it became such a seminal trip for him. But yeah, I have no memory of it. Sorry. Super disappointing.
No, that was a cool take on it.
No.
But if you did go, you would have tanned. And that's the important thing.
There you go. I would have come back nice and bronzed. Well, in the 80s, we used to put baby oil on when we laid out in the sun and just fry. And, we thought that was a good thing. So
my girlfriend likes to put on tanning oil and get really sunned up and do the 80s style thing.
Yeah,
she's half Italian.
Brett and I also used baby oil, but it was not.
Not for sunny.
So about 10 minutes ago, I commented on being the first day of fucking spring. And the reason why I did that was because the spring and summer is upon us and the music season is in full swing. So, Brett, what's going on with Roots of Creation, man? Where are we going to see you?
Well, I think that live music is finally back. Thank the Lord or Jah or Mother Nature or whoever you want to thank or believe in. And we are, we are playing with the Whalers pretty soon in Massachusetts.
That's
and then
awesome.
It's going to be amazing. The bass player is Bob Marley's original bass player. He has since handed down the reins of the band to his son, who's now the drummer and the leader of the band, which is really cool.
Wow.
Musical lineage going on there.
Yeah.
And then we're flying out to play Skull and Roses Festival in Ventura, California.
Oh, nice.
Which will be really cool. We've never played Ventura before, and it's a 3-day Grateful Dead Festival. So that'll be a lot of fun. And after that, we head to Florida to play a cannabis festival in Orlando. And that is with our good friends Cashed Out.
I like
And
them.
Julian Marley is playing, and the Expendables are also playing. So that'll be fun.
Fun, yeah.
Yeah. And then the following day, we're in Stuart, Florida. And we get to do 2 sets, which is my favorite thing because we'll do 1 set of Grateful Dub and 1 set of originals. So for me, that's like my ideal situation where we get to spread our wings, talk to the fans, play a set, talk to the fans, hang out, play another set. That's my ideal kind of situation.
Sure.
And then we have a bunch of Northeast festival stuff. You know, we're playing at Northern Vermont University, and then we're playing a bunch of festivals. Cannabis festival in Maine called Harry's Happening, where we get to play 3 sets actually, and then Jerry Jam again, the one that I was talking about earlier that kind of launched the Grateful Dub thing, and then a bunch of other festivals. There's a lot of things that aren't announced yet that we're kind of lining up, and we just launched this Patreon project, which allows us to have kind of a monthly income kind of subscription for the fans where they get stuff, months or weeks before the rest of the world, and kind of behind the scenes updates and different kind of cool packages. And in exchange for that, they subscribe to the Patreon, and then we're able to release music every month. So we have like an entire album and a half's worth of new original music. And if we get enough patrons, yeah, we're super stoked. We're gonna start Grateful Dub Volume 2. So we have so much music that it's like, we kind of didn't work on that because we were touring so much, and that's kind of been the blessing of COVID is we really got to go back to creating music, and I don't want to give that up, and I don't want to give up the time with my kids. So we're doing like touring, but we're doing it as smart as possible and making it fun, and making sure that we get new music out consistently, just for ourselves and for the people.
Yeah, you got to find a balance. It's tough. Now, if people want to be able to follow what's going on with you guys, where you're touring and all that, give us your website, your socials, all that kind of stuff.
For sure. So the shameless plug would be if you go to any social media site, just go at Roots of Creation, the @ symbol, on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
That's easy.
And that's real simple. Grab those domains as soon as I could a long time ago.
Good.
And but I was too late on YouTube. So YouTube is Roots of Creation a video or something like that. It's not the same. Somebody stole Roots of Creation.
We can find you.
And then the website's rootsofcreation.com. And if you want to get merchandise, that's shop.rootsofcreation.com. Is a different site for our merch. And then if you want to check out the new Patreon project, it's patreon.com/Roots of Creation. Basically, you want to look us up anywhere other than YouTube, just do a / Roots of Creation. We've been trying to get hip with the TikToks lately, so we just started one of those. If you want to jump on there and tell us what we should be doing and learn with us, please give us some insight on how to make that cool. And also keeping up with the times, we started a Discord channel because Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook can't control the algorithms on there. So you could do that. And the last plug I will give would be, if you want to talk with me, we created this cool little text app. So you can text me 617-752-8096. And
but you never send pictures back.
I don't send pictures. You mean like scantily clad pictures?
Well, he wants nudes.
I've just been sending some appreciative fan photos, and I haven't gotten any back from you in the same light. So anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh well, let me see. I'm gonna take one right now.
I don't know if you want to see.
Let's see what he's been sending. Let me see if I can search
Oh
for
my
or.
gosh. That's frightening. That's frightening. Well, there's a lot of places that people can reach you. And of course, as I mentioned, you guys did the song Roots of Creation for the house that Bradley built with Mighty Mystic. You've done a few songs with Mighty Mystic.
Yes,
Yes,
love
such
him.
a
He's
mm,
amazing artist.
yes, very great artist. But as I mentioned before, we appreciate you so much. We appreciate all the support. You're like a part of the family, and we appreciate you being on the album, and of course, coming on the podcast and taking some time out with us. I know you're busy, but thank you so much. We've really enjoyed talking with you.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's been
there's no
awesome.
place I'd rather be, and Bobby Orr over here is a great co-host.
He's
I,
okay.
I appreciate it. Now, he's just saying that because he's from Boston. So you're probably a Bruins fan.
My dad is a Bruins fan. I'm not super into sports, but Bobby Orr, I definitely. My dad had this prized possession of a Bobby Orr rookie card at his house that was in this special, screwed in case. So to see your name just brings back so many memories hanging out with my dad.
Yeah, my dad has some Bobby Orr memorabilia. He was actually a Bruins fan as a kid, so it worked out well for him. But I'm a diehard Sabres fan. Like I literally bleed blue and gold, and my dad knows this. And he actually called me. He had the audacity to call me. Him and my stepmom are standing in the Hockey Hall of Fame. They're on a little weekend excursion in Toronto, and my dad says, "Yo, Slim, I'm looking at this special anniversary Bobby Orr Boston Bruins jersey. You got any interest?" And I said, "Dad, if you bring that fucking Boston Bruins jersey home in this house, I, Bobby Orr or not, there's no Boston Bruins jerseys in my house." So as much as I appreciate sharing the last name with him and appreciate the fact that he's the greatest hockey player to ever play the game, I'm a Buffalo Sabres guy, no matter how bad we are.
Very loyal of you.
That's right. Brett, thank you so much for coming and hanging out. Guys, make sure you check out Roots of Creation. Brett and they do an amazing job on social media. So make sure you're giving them a follow so you can check out all the cool stuff that they have going on. And
Yes.
again, man, I really appreciate you coming on and chatting and, talking with Kellie and putting up with my bullshit.
You guys are a
That's
great
about it.
team. You guys are a great team. You got the antagonist and then the referee.
Yes.
It's great.
Yes. Right.
Man, Kellie, he called you an antagonist. Can you believe
Pretty sure he didn't. Pretty sure he didn't. Oh gosh. Well, you're delightful, Brett. So please come back on anytime. Share with us what you're doing. We'd love to catch up.
Sounds amazing. And I've been talking to our engineer, and I think he has some studio footage of when we recorded the song Roots
Oh,
of Creation. So might be able to piece together a fun little music video when he has some time. So
oh, that would be great.
yeah, Mystic said he'd be down to do it too. So the
Awesome.
listeners will stay tuned, and maybe we'll have that for you in a couple months.
Right on. Love it. Well, thank you again, Brett. Have a wonderful day.
You guys too.
Well, Kellie, just as I expected, Brett Wilson did not disappoint. I've been looking forward to this one for a long time. Anytime I can chat and just talk with somebody who's actually, a really awesome person. But God, when you're into Sublime and the Grateful Dead, this could have been a 5-hour podcast.
It could have. Well, Brett's just a lovely human being to talk to anyway, and so that in and of itself would be enough. But yes, I knew you guys would vibe on the whole Grateful Dead thing, so that was cool.
Yeah, I was super excited about it. So lots of cool things coming up for Roots of Creation, guys. Make sure you give them
Yes.
a follow, and lots of cool stuff coming up for the Nowell Family Foundation as well, right, Kellie?
Yes. In fact, if you're in the Southern California area, make sure to come out to the Music Box in San Diego on Tuesday, April 5th. Our good friends over at Muffin But Good Vibes are putting on a show. Catastro is headlining, which I absolutely love them. And Cat Hall, The Resonators, Alific featuring Man of the Forest. It's going to be a great show, a great night. We'll have a merch table there. So if you are anywhere in the Southern California area, make sure you come out on Tuesday, April 5th at Music Box.
Yes, huge thanks to the folks over at Muffin But Good Vibes, always doing something for the foundation. So it's just really cool. And of course, Kellie, I know that Right now, it seems like it's probably far away, but we are barreling down on Cali roots.
Oh, I'm so excited for that. It's going to be a 4-day show this year, May 26th through 29th in Monterey, California. It's always a good time. I'm telling you, the people that put on Cali Roots really know how to put on a show. So I highly recommend it to anybody. There are still tickets available. Definitely grab those tickets over at Cali Roots Festival. No, I'm sorry, CaliforniaRootsFestival.com. CaliforniaRootsFestival.com.
And of course, you can follow them on social media. And if you guys want, you can jump into the archives and check out our chat with Dan and hear a little bit about how all of that came together. And Cali Roots, I'm super excited for this one. 4 days, tons of bands, tons of great vendors. If you're going to be out at Cali Roots, make sure you stop by and check out the Nowell Family Foundation booth. We'll have all the cool merch that's available. If you're not going to be able to visit Cali Roots or any of the other events that we will be at, luckily, you can just scroll down in the description. Anna will be nice enough to put our link tree in there. Go ahead and click it. It'll get you to all things Nowell Family Foundation, including the website, which has all of the merch lined up on there. So you guys can go and pick up a hat, a t-shirt, hoodie, pins. There's all sorts of awesome merch on there, and every penny goes towards getting Bradley's house up and open, guys. That's why we're here doing this show. That's why we're putting these interviews on for you, so we can share some cool stories, spread some awareness, and of course get the word out there so we can raise the funds to get Bradley's house open so we can start helping musicians immediately. So check all of that out. Find out how you can get involved. Of course, just liking and sharing the foundation's social media pages on all forms of social media. Just go ahead and check out the Nowell Family Foundation pages, and you'll be up to date on all of the cool things that are going on. I know that anytime there's a new release, whether it's some new cool socks for the merch or maybe that awesome vinyl limited edition, limited copy, double secret probation. I know that a lot of people have started receiving theirs already and are posting on Facebook and Instagram the pictures of it. It's a piece of art. I mean, other than the fact that it's made music on it, it's just awesome looking.
Yes. So make sure you go over to law-records.com. Check out everything they've got going on there. They've got so many great artists. And also the house that Bradley built and the new splatter vinyl of the original release of the house that Bradley built.
Guys, every dollar means so much. Cash App, Venmo, of course, you can click right on the donation link on the website, but every dollar goes towards getting the house up and open, and it means so much, especially when we all get in there and pitch in. So have your little part in this piece of the Sublime story, and let's help the Nowell Family Foundation get Bradley's house up and built. Kellie, I'm super excited about everything that we've got going on, both on Bradley's house and with the Nowell Family Foundation. Jakob's out there. He's playing shows all over the place. Make sure you're following Jakob on Instagram. If you've been following Law, you can also follow his personal page at Jakob with a K, Nowell, and he posts all of his upcoming shows, dates, and of course that super crazy cat that he has.
It's a super crazy cat creature. Jakob's got some great new music coming out, and he's playing a bunch of shows. And of course, we'll be having another benefit show for the Nowell Family Foundation in May, and we will definitely start promoting that date very soon. And I'm excited. I know everybody loves hearing Jakob play his dad's music, and it's just a really great time. We had so much fun in February. Thank you to everyone that came out. We're looking forward to doing it again this May. So to close out the show tonight, of course, we are so excited that we got a chance to talk with Brett Wilson from Roots of Creation. And I'm stoked for everybody to hear their cover of the Sublime song, Roots of Creation. So here you go with Roots of Creation playing Roots of Creation.
And it's an awesome one. Hope you guys enjoy. Until next time, I'm Jarett Orr. She is Kellie Nowell. You don't have to go home, but it's time to leave Bradley's house.
Loving women need. Ha! Oh,